fellow collectors, and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at Deluxe Class Lift Ticket from the Transformers Legacy line from Hasbro. That's right, this is my first Legacy review. Yes, it's a repaint of an Earthrise toy, but it's got the Legacy logo, so it still counts. Very excited for this one. I think the packaging right off the bat is very cool. Usually with these kind of Generation Selects-esque reviews, the cardboard packaging is very boring, just kind of, you know, normal cardboard color. But we have this really fun design here. This picture of Lift Ticket on the front that kind of carries around to the side. You have the Legacy logo in a couple prominent places. I just overall think it's pretty fun. We have this giant sticker down here that I had to cut open, but then you will see that it is just him tied to a piece of cardboard here. They've kind of gotten rid of all the plastic packaging, which is pretty cool. So I like that. I think it works. But it just shows off how very tiny these boxes can be. I feel like usually they're a little bit bigger, but now that they've kind of gotten rid of the plastic, they can just be a little bit more condensed. And it's really just kind of tiny, which I think is kind of fun. Probably usually about this big, somewhere in there, but they don't have to be. So I like the packaging quite a bit. I'm going to go ahead and get him out of here, and we're going to take a closer look. So here is Lift Ticket out of the packaging, and he looks great. They really did a nice job. I love the color scheme. I really like the matte red finish we have here on the hood of the car, and really on the head. You can see how really nicely the head is painted. Nice yellow there for the visor, nice silver for the faceplate, and then just a really nice red matte finish here for the hood of the car. Autobot symbol looks fantastic. Got some silver paint down here. The arms on mine, unfortunately, are really loose. And I hope that's just mine. I hope that's not a common QC issue. Doesn't really stop him from doing anything. You can still get poses that you need. It's just kind of crazy how loose they are. This toy is exactly Hoist. So if you're familiar with Earthrise Hoist, it's exactly the same, just repainted. Head sculpt, everything's the same. I'll bring Hoist in a moment to do a direct comparison. But real quick, just to go through the mold again, you have a ball joint in the head. So you can kind of look back, look down, a little bit of tilt side to side, but not a ton. Certainly look side to side, no problem there. Now the arms are a little wonky. You have the hinge here at the shoulder, but unfortunately that brings this kibble piece here as well. And then you have a hinge here out to the side for the arm, as well as a bicep swivel, and then pretty good amount of articulation there on the elbow. And you have a wrist swivel as well. There we go. So I don't know why they couldn't have some kind of hinge here where this could kind of fold back. I'm sure it's an homage to the original toy or his cartoon appearance or something like that. But I don't know. I don't love having that. I don't mind so much having it hang down while his arm moves. But when you want to go like this, it becomes kind of ridiculous. So I'm not a huge fan of that. He does, of course, have this accessory for his hand. All this is a large peg that you just put into his hand. So if you want him to have two regular hands, you absolutely can. Or you can kind of put this in his hand to give him the kind of cannon arm, just like Hoist had. You have a waist swivel there. You have a front rotation like this. Back rotation all the way out. Hinge out to the side. So really nice range of motion there in the hip. You have a thigh swivel. You have kind of like two knee joints, which is weird. But nice range of motion there. And then you have ankle tilt. And again, really nice silver paint down here on the shins. He's got this kind of caution tape trim here around, which we'll see more in the vehicle mode. But that's some really nice paint applications as well. He's got the connector ports. Some here on the back. Some bottom of the feet. Here on the sides of the arm and the forearm. So he's got a good amount of connector ports. He's got these wings up here that you can move around. If you don't like him, you can have him down if you want. This can even come back if you don't want him to have all that stuff deployed all the time. He's also got this little like ramp piece, which is going to become more prevalent in the vehicle mode, but if you wanted to do something with it in the robot mode, you do have access to it. But yeah, overall, I do like the look of him. I just don't really like how the arms are done, and my arms are definitely kind of loose, which is a bummer. But for the most part, I think he looks pretty cool. I really like the color scheme. I think they did a nice job with the paint. I really like the matte finish. I think that looks really sharp. So let's do a quick comparison with Hoist. It's really the exact same figure, just repainted. There's not really even any new molding or anything like that. As far as you can tell, really, the head's the same. The pieces on the back are the same. The hand cannon piece is the same. You can see all the molding in the legs and everything is the same. Even have the same silver paint here on the shins. So it's exactly the same figure. There's really nothing different except the repaint. It's a nice repaint, but there's absolutely nothing different. They didn't remold anything or anything like that. But then just for fun, here is Trailbreaker, who actually was remolded back in Earthrise. So we have a trio of this mold now. But he's got a different head. He's got the piece on the back, the little canopy piece. He's got a different arm piece over here. And he's got like a cannon over here instead of this exhaust port type thing they have behind their head. So he's kind of the same mold, but he's even got some molding down here in the legs that's different. So I don't know too much about Lift Ticket. I don't know if he's like a BotCon repaint or where this character comes from. If you know, go ahead and let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know. But yeah, he's pretty much just a repaint of Hoist. But it's, again, very nice repaint. I think he looks good. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and run through the transformation pretty quickly because, again, if you're familiar with Hoist, he transforms exactly the same way. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to pop off the little arm cannon piece. We're going to come around to the back and kind of swivel down these little wings. Then we're going to lift this piece back and kind of make sure that this is popped straight back so that we can rotate the head. We just need enough clearance. There you go. Then this is going to kind of just hang back here for the time being. You are going to rotate the arms in and then bring them up and kind of leave them at an angle. So rotate them in and bring them up like so. Then you can kind of bring this down like this. The chest section will lift up and kind of stay here at about a 45-degree angle. And then this is going to flip back. Before we do that, I find it easier to kind of snap the legs in place. So you can see how there's kind of a tiny peg hole inside the legs right there. That's going to tab in right there. So we're going to bring this around. And it should really nice and snap in there. And that's kind of why we have the two different knees, because this is kind of the knee for the robot mode, and then this is the knee needed for the transformation. So we're going to bring this around. Get that all situated there like so. This is going to rotate into here and you'll actually hear a really nice audible snap if we can get this in here. There you go, nice snap. Then we have these in place. Let me zoom out just a bit. So now we're going to bring these down. But this kind of has to tuck around this. So you have to, and you also have to bring this up for this yellow piece here. So just like that. So bring, whoops, I got this all turned around. There we go. This is going to fold in, make sure that goes in there. Now you can see that there are two peg holes on the side, and there's kind of a little tab. That's going to go in there, and also you have some tabs up here that are going to peg into the legs. So we're going to bring this all the way down on this joint like so, and then this will come in. You also have these tabs up here, you can see right there, that are going to tab in up there. So everything kind of has to come together. This is going to come down. This is all going to snap in like so. I think I have this. Hold on, I think I'm getting ahead of myself here. These two tabs right here and here need to peg into the legs. I think we need to do that first because that'll kind of line everything else up. So let's get that in there. Then this can all come in. Why are these not pegging in? There we go. There we go. Now we can get this in here. And that goes in there like so. There it is. Okay, so now that that's all really properly pegged in, all nice and snug, you can come down here and just kind of fold the legs down, and then this will close up like so, and you're basically done. So there is the vehicle mode. Let me bring this down. Again, love the matte finish here, and you can kind of see that translate all the way through the truck mode. You have this really nice kind of caution tape with Wrecker written right here. You know, the more I think about it, this guy might be a Diaclone reference. I'll have to look it up. They're starting to do a lot of Diaclone references in this toy line, which I'm all for. I think that's really fun. But yeah, so it just says Wrecker there on the side. And again, if you want to go ahead and utilize this ramp, you just have to spin these out of the way. And then this will kind of lift up. You see it has a little wheel here. You bring this down. This will click into place, and then that kind of wheels along on the ground. Now, it also has these connection ports here. So if you remember with Earthrise, a lot of different playsets and things like that, like Prime's trailer, had this little connection port, so you could connect to that. I don't know why you would have this connect to a ramp, but I guess if you needed to move something temporarily up here, you could do so. Or maybe if he was towing something, you could have it connect that way. And then you can just have this pop back around here and sit back down and then fold this back up. So it doesn't roll the best, and it might be because I don't have everything lined up, but I think I do. It's just that the arms, do I have to turn? The directions didn't say anything. I'm just wondering if I turn the arms, if this would fit a little more snug against the body here. No, I don't think so. And it's possible I don't have this correct. I might be able to get those. You probably have to get those snug in a little bit more just so that it can roll properly. There we go. There we go. Now it's rolling around. And if you want to attach the accessory over here, you can do so. But yeah, overall, I like the look of them. Like I said, I really like the repaint. I love the matte finish for the red. Overall, I just think it looks really good. So I think Lift Ticket is pretty fun. Yes, it's just a red hoist, but it's a fun repaint. I think he looks pretty cool. Now, earlier I guessed if he was a Diaclone reference or if he was from a BotCon set. Technically, I was kind of right on both accounts because they did take the Thrilling 30 hoist and make him into Lift Ticket in a BotCon set, but ultimately he is a Diaclone reference, so I was kind of right on both counts. But this is definitely a fun figure. I thought the hoist mold was pretty great back in Earthrise. Yes, it's not without its flaws, especially the arms. I mean, they're just a little wonky when you try to start doing poses like this. I kind of like this piece hanging here when you're looking at it straight on, but then as soon as you start to move that arm, it's a little weird. Could have been neat if they had just kind of like a little hinge or something so you could flip this back around and peg it in there so that it wasn't in the way. It didn't look as weird when you start to move it around. But ultimately, I still think it's fun. Like I said, this was a fan channel exclusive, so Hasbro Pulse, GameStop, Entertainment Earth, Big Bad Toy Store, TF Source, places like that. That's where you're going to be able to pick this up if you are looking for it. And I like it. I really like the matte finish with the red. I think that looks really sharp. And overall, it's just a fun little figure. So, kind of interesting that an Earthrise toy is going to be my first Legacy release. But I do kind of have one other sort of kind of Legacy release. Technically, I got him from Kingdom, but he will be in the first wave of Legacy. So, these are kind of both my first two not quite Legacy, but kind of Legacy releases. So, God, I love this toy. Anyway, we're taking a look at Lift Ticket today. He's great. I definitely recommend picking him up. I think he's quite a bit of fun. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, thanks so much for watching.